You're gay. Hello and welcome back, Ravers. It is season 4, episode 13 of Gay Rave, and I am on cloud 9. I feel like I could run through a fucking wall. I feel crazy. If you're on the YouTube, I'm wearing these crazy sunglasses because that's how cool I feel. I feel truly unfuckwithable. I feel so cool. I feel crazy. Okay. I just got back from my first ever day on this like powerlifting team. Okay. So far to date, I had to do 3 sort of like intro sessions with my sexy man, Miguel. Okay. The hottest person I've ever seen in my life. All right. This man is like if Moana was a man and he gained 50 pounds of muscle. Absolutely gorgeous. Gorgina, just the two of us. Okay. But this is my first day on the team and I was so nervous. Okay. So nervous. It's every Monday, Wednesday, Saturday. Okay. We meet for like 90 minutes to 2 hours or whatever. We each get our own individual programming. So we're not doing all the same things together. We're more like working out near each other. And we all have an app with our own programming, okay? So I'm starting my 5 weeks like intro and some people are preparing for this meet. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go in with a really good attitude, openness, and humility, okay? And so I did mess some stuff up, but I met some really, really nice people and everyone was so kind to me. And I was introducing myself to everyone and they were like, oh girl, I've only been here for this many weeks, or you should come to the meet or whatever. And I even introduced some other people who had been there and seen each other, but never introduced themselves. There is nothing like a positive social interaction. Okay. I was so nervous. For what? For what? Oh my God. See, this is the thrill. It's the thrill of knocking it out of the park, like just trying something new and having it not go horribly bad according to all of my fears and anxieties. Oh my God. I feel high on life right now. All right. Wish we could bottle this feeling. And we can't because I start Spanish classes next week and line dancing on Sunday. I'm less nervous about those things. I'm more nervous about the powerlifting thing because in my mind, like walking into a gym where everyone is fit, and I feel like I don't know as much or I'm not fit. I feel like they're going to like make fun of me or judge me. And I know that fit people are just like nice people with muscles. And they were also nice to me. And so I have to say, this is why we do this. This is why we try new things. Listen, we are 5 buttons into this year. And if you don't know the buttons lore, okay, on TikTok, there was this woman named Tamra who is getting 365 buttons. And so every single day she could like move the buttons from a full jar to an empty jar to signal like each day of the year and to show like how much time is passing. And people were like, well, why are you doing this? And what do the buttons symbolize? And this person on TikTok was like, you actually don't have to understand it. It's just for me and I don't have to explain myself. And that's the energy for 2026, okay? It is the 5th of January. When you're listening to this, it's probably the 6th of January. We are already 6 buttons in. And what are you doing? Okay? Let's step our pussies up this year. This is going to be feeling crazy. And this is not even because of the poisoning from last week. Okay? We've moved on from that. I had my air purifier running overtime to clear out my house from this problem. Okay? So let's get into it. It is 2026 now. Drag Race is back. Seconds into this new year, we've already experienced a hate crime. Did anyone watch the ball drop? Okay. So the ball drop, this guy, Scott Van Pelt, he's from ESPN. He was like live on Instagram as the ball was dropping and then they like panned to everyone like kissing, New Year's kiss in the crowd, and 2 gay guys were making out and he was like, oh, and he like turns it off and like moves the screen away. And I was like, damn, we are simply seconds into the new year. And it only took that much time for a hate crime to happen. Wow. It really was setting the stage for the crimes that then, happened the following day when we invaded Venezuela and then took Maduro and brought him to New York for some reason. Okay. Sorry. I know it's only been 4 minutes of this podcast. I feel crazy. So Drag Race is back. Cardi B was the judge. A huge win for our rap girlies everywhere ever since Nicki Minaj is on the MAGA train. Thank God. Honestly, Rue had the foresight. Rue must have had the fucking foresight. Okay. So, we all have to reset our spider clock back to 0. If you don't know, remember how when you were a kid, you'd be like, you like consume like 8 to 10 spiders a year? My question is, how do you know how many spiders you're in? Like, at this time. So that's a big question, sort of a looming question I have, but everyone can reset their spider clock back unless, it's already been 5 buttons. Maybe there has already been a spider entering. I think the rate is like a little less than 1 per month. And I'm thinking winter months are probably spider forward. So if you had to really worry about spider consumption for the year, if it really is 8 to 10, I would probably think it's a winter month. That's all I'm going to say about that. Moving on. Something exciting that I'm doing this week is getting an LGBTQ haircut. Okay. I found this person at the bar, a friend of Raver Kate, and I loved their haircut. So what do? I took a 360 video of their head at the bar and I have it on my phone right now. Just this random person with an amazing haircut. Asked them for their hairdresser. Do we call them that? That's non-binary, right? Dresser? Hairstylist. Okay. Like Nick Arrojo from TLC's What Not to Wear, the hairstylist. And so I obviously DM'd them. I made an appointment with them so I can get their same exact haircut. I have the video. I have their hairstylist. I need to replicate their exact haircut. Okay. So I hope to get an LGBTQ haircut this Thursday. If it sucks, that's fine. All right. Because why? It's just hair and we're going to live and we can make it funny. All right. If it's a bad haircut, we can always make it funny. And I've been threatening buzzing my head. And if I had a bad haircut, that'd be a good excuse to buzz my head. And then I'll go to my powerlifting class and be like, oh my God, you guys, all the more reason to be lifting weights and getting so buff. Okay. Okay. Because if people aren't going to be looking at my hair, they have to look at my muscles, obviously. Okay. Moving on. I also had this thought, like, am I getting this LGBTQ haircut because I'm obsessed with Ilya's hair from Heated Rivalry? The answer is no, because I think I found this haircut before I was like really obsessed with Ilya, but I did have that introspective question. I was actually worried about my motivations, but I have cleared it. I also made a dentist appointment, really excited about that, in the neighborhood. I need to get all new like Brooklyn fucking doctors now. I need a gynecologist. If anyone has a gynecologist in the area, if anyone has a fucking general practitioner ass bitch, then send me that. But I finally have a dentist. Shout out to Raver Merritt. Had a dental emergency and sent me to that person. I'm very excited. The issue for me is I was flossing the other day. Subtle flex. Flossing mentioned. I do floss every single day because I have incredible dental health. All right. And I have a weird thing about my breath. All right. I just like, I'm obsessed with breath because I fear that I have really bad breath. So I have like Listerine breath strips. I have breath spray. I have gum. I'm strapped with gum and I'm strapped with fucking floss at all times because I'm really weird about my teeth. Okay. So I was flossing the other day and one of these like back left ones, a piece of my tooth came out when I was flossing. I must have been like a river, like a river meets a boulder. Is that what it is from For Good? Like a stream that meets a boulder. My floss was meeting my tooth and then eventually it cracked that part of the tooth off, but I caught it in my hand, one of my flossing hands, and I put it on my sink and it's been sitting there. Should I bring the piece of tooth with me to the dentist appointment? Answer yes or no. I was thinking yes, and then I could make a game time decision if I mention it. Like if they're chill, I'll be like, by the way, if you see a part of my tooth is missing, I have it. I don't think they're going to put it back on, but I think they might want to look at it for science. Is this stupid? I don't know. I'm feeling weird. Okay. So things that happened this week. Let's get into some current events. Mom Donnie's inauguration was January 1st. It was absolutely incredible. And shout out to Raver Ellen Canfield, who truly like put on that fucking event. Used to work for de Blasio, who was there. Shout out to Blasio. And she fucking like created, hosted, and project managed the entire inauguration. She is incredible among a team of wonderful people, clearly, and committed civil servants. I'm obsessed with them. It was wonderful. I had a ticket to go in, but I didn't want to get into the security line because I was feeling unwell. Oh, I also got very, very sick. Okay, got very, very sick. Didn't go out for New Year's. Depressing. But don't worry, I walked outside at midnight, saw some fireworks, walked back inside. All right. And I watched the episodes of Heated Rivalry 3 through 6 again. Cried, had the best time of my life. All right. Had no qualms here. I'm going to make up for the polar plunge this weekend with Raver Rachel. All right. Because you don't have to polar plunge. It's just like, it's not that one day or never. We are going to do it on Saturday. All right. So as I was saying, Mom Donnie inauguration, I went late. It was fucking freezing. Shout out to everyone who stood out there. It was so moving. And there was a couple parts that like really, really got me. And obviously like seeing Bernie Sanders and hearing Mom Donnie be like, you know, this is my inspiration. AOC kicked us off. Like just legendary. Okay. Him shouting at his wife. But the part I cried multiple times. And fucking Mandy Patinkin was there doing Somewhere Over the Rainbow. They got Lucy Dacus. I was like, star-studded, star. Okay? And I couldn't get enough of it. So the part that really made me sob, although if you did watch online, you probably heard an air horn throughout all the speeches. That was right next to me. That was some like pro-Israel person, and they were saying all these racist things about how Mamdani's in the jihad or whatever. Yeah, that air horn right next to me. So if you were wondering, all of my videos, it's way worse in all of my videos. Also from a million miles away. I don't even know why I take these videos anymore. Just no reason. Just to have them for no reason. Okay. So through all that annoyance, I still cried because it was when he said, he took his wife on a date in McCarran Park and he became a citizen on Pearl Street. He was naming all of like the things and the places that New York holds for him. And it just like put it all into perspective. I thought it was so incredibly moving the way he told the story of his childhood and his upbringing and really loving New York and loving the quirks and the cultural diversity and the space it holds for other people. I think that's so special. Like the way he tried to bring every culture and every identity into that speech, it really went to show that he understood all of the people that he's responsible for. I felt very important that he tried his best. And I know it seemed like the fucking alphabet mafia, like truly mad libs for wokeness. But to me, I think it spoke to like, I truly understand how much diversity is here. And I understand that there is every single kind of person here. But the one thing that we all have in common is that we love New York and that we're New Yorkers. And I thought it was incredibly well written and well delivered. It was giving Obama. It was giving Obama. Okay, sunglasses back on. Moving on. Okay. Also, as I mentioned, Maduro is in a Brooklyn prison now. And not for nothing, but I know he's a bad guy and the feelings are mixed. Like we know that he's a dictator and we know he's a bad guy and Trump absolutely committed crime. You can't just do that. You can't just like go onto Venezuelan soil and take someone from their home and bring them to the US. You can't do that, okay? But he looked so fucking tough in those Nike Techs. I'm not gonna lie. It's like when I saw Kendrick Lamar do the Super Bowl, I was like, I need kick flares. Okay. And then when I saw Maduro's arrest photos in the Nike Techs, I was like, no offense, I'm Googling Nike Techs and I might purchase some because it looked so sick. Gray on gray. Oh my God, no offense, but if it goes hard, if it goes hard. Okay. Okay. Don't come for me. Sunglasses are on. Sunglasses are on. It's immunity. It's immunity. Okay. Moving on. Jojo Siwa is rebranding to Joel Siwa. Okay. You thought Jojo was the problem? You thought the nickname was the problem? What are we doing about the cruise? The cruise? We're keeping the cruise. Is it called the Joel Cruise now? Because that changes things completely. Okay. Moving on. I saw a bunch of words that I thought were funny, so I'm going to try to say them. Alex Earl was seen partying and loving on Tom Brady at their New Year's Eve party in the Caribbean. That's some of those words I know. That's crazy. Tom Brady, you're old ass. You kiss your kids on the mouth, and now you're dating this like 24-year-old influencer who actually just broke up with like an NFL football player, like who was actually her fucking age. Grandpa, you are so hurt because your cloned dog doesn't love you as much as the original. Giselle left you and your kids won't kiss you on the mouth anymore. That you have to go be with somebody like 24 years old. Weirdo. Okay? We shame Bill Belichick for being with this 24-year-old baddie. Okay? And for doing the things that she says, which absolutely zero complaints to her. Shout out to her. Okay? We should be shaming Tom Brady too. Oh, so because he's got a couple Super Bowl rings, we don't shame him for dating people 20 years or junior? We don't do that because he's cool? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's like Leonardo DiCaprio. You're dusty. Get out of their DMs, weirdo. Okay? If you even know what that is. Speaking of weirdos, does unk mean uncle or uncool? Because I always thought it was uncle, which is hilarious. Calling somebody unk, being like that's uncle vibes, I was hysterical. But if unk really stands for uncool, which Mia brought to my attention recently, I'm going to throw the fucking table. If it's meant uncool this whole time, that changes everything for me. And I take it back every single time I said it because that's not what I meant. I meant uncle. You're giving unk vibes. You're chopped, you're unk. Okay? You're old head. You don't know shit about these words. 6'7", never heard of it. Okay, uncool though, mean. That's what I thought the people were going to say when I walked in the gym. They're like, uncool, weirdo, no fit, no fitness, and no fit, looking ass. That's not what they did. Everyone was so nice to me. Okay, moving on. Metro cards are gone. They are no longer accepting paper Metro cards. I still don't think we're there from like an accessibility standpoint, but I guess, fine, we'll move to this new system where you have to like tap to pay. But the tap to pay doesn't always work. They're like, if you use the same card 13 times in a week, there's a maximum charge. The maximum charge is like X amount of dollars per week. What is it? It's like $3 times 13. You can do that math. All right. So like there's a maximum charge per week apparently, but I've been using the same card. I'm checking my bank statements. I'm like, when did the week start? Which are we talking 7 days, 13 rides in 7 days? And then what? It's still clocking my card. Am I getting a deduction? Is there a credit that's coming eventually? Very confusing. I don't really like that. Don't know if it works. Don't know if I'm even doing it right. Okay. First pennies. Now this. I do still have some Metro cards though. So that way, if they ever become like a relic, call me. Okay. I'll be selling those shits on eBay. Moving on. There were several weddings in the women's soccer community that just happened. We need to shout them out. We need to say hello. Also, pour one out to the wedding videos of yesteryear that we've lost. I used to watch Ashlyn Harris and Ali Krieger's wedding video on YouTube all the time. It was actually one of my first dates with my ex. I was like, you know what we should watch? We should watch YouTube videos. This is one of my favorites. And I realized like when you're in the courting phase, why are you making them watch marriage videos of lesbians? Well, see how that worked out. And it had nothing to do with that, but I would like to think that somewhere along the line it came up. Okay, somewhere along the line, it was a thought. All right, this is weird. Probably too much too soon. Okay. But now that I don't get to watch that anymore, is that still on YouTube? If it is, I'll link it in the show notes. You got to watch it. It's very beautiful. The speeches from her brother Kyle, gorgeous. Okay, too bad they got divorced. Ashlyn totally blew it with Allie, served her divorce papers, now with Sophia Bush. I'm not living for it. I'm not throwing those photos likes, and I see who's liking them. All right, moving on. So Christy Mewis and Sam Kerr, who's I think from the Australian team, and Christy Mewis from the US, also had a sister who was in the soccer league in the US as well. They got married. Very, very beautiful couple, very sexy couple. I think they also like have kids now, which is kind of crazy. But if I had to hit not both of them at the same time, I would definitely hit Sam Kerr, if you know what I'm saying. Their fits looked gorgeous, absolutely stunning wedding. I'm pretty sure they have kids. I will fact check that, or someone's going to be mad at me on here, so someone's going to tell me. Okay, moving on. Also, Marta Verera da Silva and Carrie Lawrence got married. Marta, who's like actually, I think, the best women's soccer player in the world, maybe just in the US. I don't really know. They got married as well. So congrats to them. Must be the off season. You know, it's the off season. Everyone's getting married. Okay, Gorgina, also 2 soccer players, which if you really want to get married to somebody, go play soccer, because apparently that's when everybody's linking up. That's when everyone's finding love. Because like, how often do you see those like basketball love stories? Like Courtney Vandersloot and Diana Taurasi. Everyone else like isn't really with other basketball players. Look what just happened to Dejanay Carrington. Okay, messy breakup within the community. It seems like there's not as much of that happening in the basketball world. But Paige Beckers and AZ Fudd, oh God, that's so gorgeous, so beautiful, so special. I don't know, jury's out on that, but all I'm saying is soccer seems to be having and producing a lot of results, whereas basketball, mixed bag. Okay, mixed bag. Moving on, rave reviews. I think it was nice that Timothy Chalamet did shout out Kylie in his Critics' Choice win speech. We had some LGBTQ representation at the Critics' Choice Awards. Fia Seahorn for Best Actress in Pluribus. Heated Rivalry mentioned by Chelsea Handler. Also, Chelsea Handler uncanceled now. We're all fine with like, you got to be kidding me now. We're all fine. We're moving past it. Okay, whatever. And Aunt Gladys won from Weapons. That was sort of LGBTQ-ish related. That was every gay person's costume, apparently. So apparently it is. So that's some representation. Applause. Some rave reviews there. Also, I saw that Marlon Wayans has a child who is trans, and he said, I'm going to support my baby regardless. And he said that he was inspired by Gab Union and Dwayne Wade's support of their child who ended up transitioning. And Marlon said, I have a great support, I have great friends, and I'm going to love my baby no matter what. Marlon Wayans, I knew when I saw White Chicks, I knew that there was something different about him and that he was always going to be a good guy and a good dad. Okay, so shout out to him. Rave review. Great review. I'm going to say the ending of Stranger Things. I have been watching Stranger Things recaps on YouTube. I have not watched the actual show since it debuted season 1 in 2015, I want to say, maybe 2016. And it was still scary to me back then, okay? And now they've added all these kind of like monsters and magic and mystical things, scarier, okay? And I don't know what I'm doing with all that. There's just nothing for me to do. But I've been watching the recaps of this final season. It's the series finale. And I have been underwhelmed. And I think it would be quite funny if one day I try to explain to you all the things that happen in Stranger Things from my like third party perspective, not having watched it and only having watched recaps for the past 10 years. I think that would be quite hilarious. Okay, so pending if I ever plan on doing that. But just like Heated Rivalry has one of the best episodes of all time, Stranger Things is now one of the worst rated episodes of television of all time, because one of the plots, right, the kid who was taken in season 1, he has sort of had this like lingering connection to whoever, took him, the like mystical being of evil who took him in season 1. And so he has sort of like had this connection to the evil, and the evil is like, I chose you because you were weak and because you had a secret. You're gay. He didn't say that directly, but he meant like the gayness. And he was like, he's preying on all his insecurities, and he's like, I chose you because you're weak and you'll never tell them the truth, and it's going to push everybody away, and you're not going to have loved ones. And so there you were an easy target. And so then the kid is like, I am not an easy target. I am going to tell my loved ones I am gay, and we are going to use the power of love to defeat you. And so he ends up telling all of his friends and family that he's gay. Okay. And everyone hated that. The audience was like, why would you make Will come out as gay to all of his friends and family in order to defeat this evil? Like, was that necessary? Couldn't they just like defeat him as a team? Like, couldn't they all just like power up to defeat him without doing that? Probably just like using like the force of defeating him with force and not with coming out as gay. So that is interesting. Everyone really, really hated that. I thought it was quite funny. And I thought it was like part of the whole like, we will defeat you using love thing. And if I don't have this secret, you have nothing to hold over me, sort of like releasing the tie, I suppose. I don't know. So yeah, that was pretty bad. And also, this is like set in the 80s. And so like you're telling 12 people you're gay and all of them were fine with it. Okay, you know what? I'm kind of down with that. I'm down with that, whatever. Also, the Stranger Things fans are nuts. Like, they are certified crazy because they're all on Twitter like, there is no way that was really the end. Like, there were all these plot holes, which means that I know that there's like a super secret surprise episodes and there's all these things missing. This is like a grand plot by the creators of the show, and this is all a ruse because there's going to be a real show that comes out later, because this can't be the end. Okay. And if that's true, I'm going to say I knew it the whole time. And if it's not true, I'm going to say they're crazy. Okay. Also, the fact that they have 2 Prince songs, they had 2 Prince songs that have never been a part of media before. Prince had never participated or signed off to have his music in anything when he was alive. He kind of came around at the end and he was on New Girl. Remember that? I remember. Okay. But when he passed away, his family starts giving his songs away to everybody. His estate's giving away his songs. They got Purple Rain and When Doves Cry for the Stranger Things season 5. And while I love it, it's giving 80s and it is very, very iconic, and it kind of did fit with the motifs. I was like, Prance. I can't believe it. And maybe it had to do with the gayness as well. The gay as well themes. But I was just shocked. Like, okay, I guess if you're going to pick one thing, might as well make it something really big. But I felt like we could have had something like more grandiose. Maybe something that could win an Academy Award. Maybe something that is by A24. I feel like that could fit in there somewhere. Also, saw Marty Supreme. I really did like it. It was a long movie. I did like it, though. It did make me sad. It made me sad. Some people were like, it's not sad. And I was like, well, okay, that's your opinion. And I'm the owner of this house and these bad opinions. And that is my truth. Okay. Speaking of those, can I say something? I had this thought the other day. While I was sitting by myself, so sick, I had this thought. And I thought to myself, and I said, time travel. Okay. What if you, as yourself right now, with all the knowledge and resources, like right now, okay, what if you were sent back 20 years. Okay. You're sent back to 2006. All right. But like with your thoughts, but in your body. So like if it's 2006, what am I? 13. I'm 13 years old, like probably 14 years old, about to go into high school. You have all the knowledge you have right now. You know that Trump's going to ruin the fucking country. You know that all these things are happening. You know that the horrors are awaiting us. Where do you go? Like, where do you start? You're just a normal fucking person. You don't have contacts. You don't know Jeff Bezos. Is Amazon a thing at that time? You know all the things that await the world. I know the butterfly effect. I don't want to fucking hear it, you butterfly effect heads. I don't want to hear it, okay? What would you do? Kill Jeff Bezos? Call the news? Like, I genuinely, when I try to contact Ruth Bader Ginsburg, where's the low-hanging fruit? Okay? I genuinely went down this rabbit hole of thought, and I thought it was fucking hilarious. And I was like, I need to write a movie. I think it would be such a funny movie to know all the things that you know now and then just be like a 15-year-old in the middle of Connecticut and be like, well, I don't know how to help anybody. Do I go after do I try to stop like gun violence? Do I try to stop Columbine or something? I just don't know where to start. And I think it's funny. Like, what is your thought process? Where would you start? Do I try to start locally? Do I try to help myself? I want to definitely help the world at large. 9/11 already happened. Can't stop that. Okay. So what can I do? So I think it's a hilarious thought experiment, and I've got to write a movie. I'll put on my list. Okay. I'm going to put on my list. Okay. Moving on. I'm sorry. My I'm sorry goes out to my scrub mommy. Okay. I was having this thought. So I exclusively buy scrub mommies because I don't like to have men in my house. I've actually never had a man in my house. Wait. The guy who does my bugs. The exterminator's a man. He has been in my house. He's the only man who's been in my house. And Carlos, the guy who fixed my shower. 2 men in my house. So I don't like to have the scrub daddy because I don't want anything named daddy in my house. All right. So I have the scrub mommy, and I was washing my dishes, and I had just bought a new replacement because like the old one's getting a little worn, and I felt bad throwing her out. And I was like, just because you're old and worn doesn't mean you're bad. But I do have 3 new ones here, okay? And then I thought about it. I said, is it wrong that I buy the mommy and not the daddy? Why am I making a woman do all my chores? Is it wrong that I'm shoving my spoon in the mouth of this scrub mommy instead of a scrub daddy? Like I should be doing this to the man, right? If I really am a feminist. I am buying the scrub mommy because I thought I was aligning myself with women everywhere. And I'm buying the scrub mommy in case the sales are less good. I want to make sure that I'm putting my money towards the woman. Okay. But then, is it actually counterintuitive? Because then I'm making a woman do all the hard work. And then I looked into this. Okay, I looked into this. I said, are they different? Are they the same product? One's a mommy and one's a daddy. And they're not. The scrub daddy is the entire thing is that coarse texture. It's the original from Shark Tank. It's that coarse texture. The scrub mommy has dual texture. The sponge on one side and the coarse texture on the other side, making it better for overall cleaning. Kind of fucked up when you think about it, that the scrub daddy is for hard stains, only specific items, and the mommy works on everything. So the mommy's harder and more often. Allegory for real life, kind of fucked up. Yes and yes, yes and yes. Okay. Songs of the week, a 3-way tie. It's a 3-way tie between Go Baby by Justin Bieber, Go Baby, Go Baby, Go Baby, Go, Folded by Kehlani, So Baby Come Pick Up Your Clothes, and Down on the Corner by Creedence Clearwater Revival. It's been a weird weekend. Okay, I want to fucking hear about it. And you know what? I am going to sing in your fucking ear because I'm a terrible singer, but fuck it. Oh, sorry. I'm not supposed to sing just because I'm bad at it. Get over yourself. Get a grip. Close your ears then because I'm going to be over here screaming and actually trying. Okay, one time when I was a kid, this is actually so mean. One time when I was a kid, my then best friend, Abby, called me on the phone and she was like, we should try singing. And I was like, okay, great. She's like, okay, you start singing, but like really use your real singing voice. Like don't pretend like we do in the car or whatever. And I said, okay, sure. So like we pick a song and I was like, she's like, you go first. And so I start singing and then she's like, that was your real singing voice. And little did I know, she had 3-wayed other girls from class onto the call and they all started laughing and making fun of me. So if you're ever wondering why I'm worried I'm going to walk into a space and be laughed out of there, that's probably why. Okay. So at that time, I knew I was not going to have a singing career. Okay. I'm not a singer. All right. But I will. And that was really mean and that's fucked up, but not in this house. Oh, so only good singers are allowed to sing now? Okay, so I'm going to be at karaoke loud as fuck and also really, really bad. It's like a sound only dogs can hear. We leave karaoke, we go outside, there's just a pack of dogs there. They're like, hey, we got your call. What do you need? Okay. And I'm am not going to be limited. I'm not going to do a fucking spoken word song. I'm not going to be limited to fucking Johnny Cash just because I can't sing. I am still going to do Adele, and it's going to be 7 minutes long. I'm doing Freebird. I'm doing No One Mourns the Wicked. And you are going to clap. I'm doing extended cuts of Adele, in fact. Okay, there's not even a 7-minute Adele song. I'm going to find one. I'm going to do an extended cut. Even worse, I'm going to do a song you've never heard before. 7 minutes, 9 minutes. Oh, I don't care. Just because I'm a bad singer doesn't mean I'm not going to sing. Yeah, I'm going to fucking sing. Yeah, I'm going to take up space at karaoke. People go to karaoke who are good at singing. Fuck off, okay? Leave some room for the rest of us. And I am just doing reparations, making up for lost time. Okay, this energy can be never matched again. I have missed you so much and I love you. Okay, this has been Gay Rave. I am the Gabby L, and the L is for say it with me. Love you. Bye.
That's what she said. And you know what? What was that? Okay, James.